Well, Matt is a very damaged guy, kind of physically and emotionally, and is sort of. It's interesting. He's Mavis's sounding board and conscience, except that he so clearly is not utilizing the wisdom that he's doling out on himself, and thus she has free reign to just call him on stuff and go, "Well, you're not doing it. I don't need to." So there's that kind of frustration there, which I love. That it's two equals going at each other. Mavis is this uh, author, ghost writer, really, of young adult books who decides to go back to her hometown that she escaped from for the big city of Minneapolis to win back her high school sweetheart, despite the fact that he's married with a new kid and is clearly could not be happier with his wife and his life and his child. And along the way meets me, who also went to high school with her, that she absolutely does not remember, even though we had lockers next to each other every day of high school, all 4 years. Um, and in the during the course of the movie, we sort of end up weirdly, linking and becoming friends through her kind of mental breakdown and through her craziness. Well, I mean, the main thing was when I first read the script and had it offered to me and saw how nuanced and brilliant it was, and knowing that it was going to be really, really hard to nail that tone just right and not mess it up. So, you know, knowing that I had a lot of work to do was weirdly exhilarating and exciting. That I hired an acting coach, I worked with a physical therapist, I got all that stuff down, um, and then just to get to act opposite Charlize, who's one of my favorite actors, who's really been delivering these amazing performances, just boom, boom, one after the other, and then to be directed by Jason Reitman, who it isn't even that he's it's beyond being a great director. He's he's like excited to direct. He acts like a guy who's just won a contest where he gets to direct a film. He's that excited. The main thing about Matt that I really wanted to nail was how easily, and even I think it's even beyond his own knowledge, he slips back and forth between kind of funny cynicism and then real darkness, almost within the same sentence, and how much pain he's sitting on top of without getting histrionic about it. So that all had to be buried, and that's what working with the acting coach kind of gave me. Working with Charlize, she wants everyone in the scene to be better. She wants to set everyone up and make them better. So, you're with someone that is giving you exactly what you need, even if what you need in that scene is nothing. Even if what is going to get you to the right emotional response is her staring at you and kind of not listening to you, which is what Mavis does a lot, and which is what brings Matt to some of the depth and heights that he gets to. So, working all it felt a little weird at first because we'd never worked together, but by the time we got to the end to a very raw, very emotional scene, it just felt really natural because we knew those characters so well, and we could actually be less nervous about the scene itself and more nervous about the character's emotional state and how they would, deal with stuff. The favorite scene for me to shoot that I thought was just really funny and fun to shoot was when the super positive guy in the wheelchair comes up, and she and I, the way that we're relating to each other with him around, you see how these two people actually love their misery so much, like it bonds them even tighter. That scene is so great. I loved shooting that scene. It was really fun, and we did have to do a lot of takes. We just all got it. I'm not saying this as a brag or anything, but we didn't have to do a lot of takes for the funny scenes, and I think it's because we knew the characters so well, and we got along so well early on, even at the table read, that we just knew how these two were constantly trying to up each other and insult each other. So the funny parts came kind of naturally. They came, and it feels good when that happens, when you don't have to keep, oh, let's try another approach that didn't work, because you can feel when it's not happening just as easily as you can feel when it does happen, and we just felt it happening. He would like to steer her back into reality and away from delusion, but it's hard to intercept someone who's in a full sprint towards a mirage. It's almost like you have to let them run through the mirage to realize it's not there, and then they'll hopefully you'll be there on the other side to catch them, which is kind of how Matt is. As a big movie buff, I'm just excited to see a really challenging, original, funny film to see how it reacts. I mean, there's no way to predict how this movie's going to do, and that's really exciting. You know, there's not. This is just not a generic formulaic film. It has a lot of genuine surprises and shock in it. I mean, real moments of like, what the hell? So I want to. I just. It's going to be fun to see how it does that way.